Hey everyone, welcome. I am live just a few minutes early so that everybody gets notified that I am live. And I cannot seem to change the size of my chart, so it's just gonna look huge, and we're just gonna work with what we've got. This is pretty good for what I want to talk about anyways. So hello. Please say hi as you're joining. Today, as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about purpose in your human design chart. And this is probably my most requested topic when it comes to human design as a teacher from my students. The majority of the students that end up in my courses or in mentorship containers are really, especially right now, searching for purpose. I don't think that's a coincidence. I made a video on here yesterday with another prediction, which I'm usually very shy about making predictions, but I am predicting that come the end of July, we are going to be seeing a massive resignation, bigger than anything we've seen. I know a lot of people think that we've already lived through the Great Resignation in 2021, and I'm here to tell you, this is going to make that look like a kid's party. So, why do I say that? I say that because over the course of the past few months, I've seen an increase in interest around purpose and the conversation around purpose. And one of the things that human design does so brilliantly and so powerfully is really put a spotlight on where you can find purpose in someone's body graph. So this thing behind me is called a body graph or a chart. There's only half of it on the screen because, again, I can't move it. The green screen won't let me adjust the size of this picture. But if you see your own body graph, there's two columns in a body graph. There's this column, the red one, which is known as the column of design or the unconscious. Hi, Adventures of Atorina. Hope I said that correctly. And then there's another column, which usually traditionally shows in black, and that's known as the conscious or personality column. Now, if you don't have your body graph, you don't know what your chart looks like. It's really easy. When you're done with this live, go to my bio link. Oh, I'm glad I said that correctly. Go to my link and it'll say, don't know your aura type, get your free chart. That's where you're going to get your chart. The chart's going to look different than this one because I customized it to colors that I liked. But it's the same. There's two columns and they both represent the same thing. And then you'll get a good image of what your chart looks like. So there's a lot of layers to the conversation around purpose in human design. I don't want to make it seem like it's as simplistic as saying, look here, boom, 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 right? It's really not that simplistic. When I'm looking at a client's chart with the intention of looking at purpose, I'm looking at a number of different things in their chart. I'm definitely looking at their aura type, because their aura type, meaning, like right here you see mine says splenic projector. A projector is going to be quite different than a generator, than a reflector, than a manifestor. You all operate very, very differently. So before I even look at the specifics of where your purpose lies, I need to look at the mechanics of your aura, because that's going to tell me how you're going to use your purpose and in the way that your energy has to interact with your purpose. Because it could very well be that you are currently doing something in the world that feels very purposeful for you, that is aligned with your purpose, but the way that you are doing it is incorrect for your aura. So you feel drained and exhausted and you're not having a good time because you're operating against the mechanics of your aura. And so you think that means you're doing the wrong job or you're doing the wrong project. And in reality, it's not that. It's the way that you're doing it that's the problem. So this is called a body graph, okay? This is a human design body graph, all right? And again, you can get that chart in my bio link. It says get your free chart here. It's actually just my website, shakti-rios.com. Right on the first page, welcome page, you'll see a place to put in all your information. And then you're going to get emails from me. You're going to get a few emails. When you get your chart from my site, you'll get number one, what I call the alignment cheat sheet. This teaches you how to quickly get an alignment based on your aura type. You'll get that emailed to you right away. Then over the series of the next week, like every 2 days or so, you're going to get another email from me linked to my TikTok videos where I talk about the body graph, where I break down what these shapes are, where I break down what these gates are, all these planetary symbols. I talk about all that, but the emails organize the videos for you, so it's easy for you to kind of follow in suit. So that's why I always recommend go there and get your chart, because you have so many resources that I then send to you that kind of make this make sense, right? So when it comes to purpose, looking at the mechanics of your aura is the first place that I start. The second place that I go to, I will not be bringing anybody on live, just a heads up. The second place that I go to when I look for that is, my Chiron is not on here, but I look at Chiron. Chiron, the wounded healer, which if you look at Chiron in your astrology, your natal chart, wherever Chiron sits is a great deal of information. The house, the sign, other planets that are, aspected to it, a great deal of information around your core wound, a spiritual wound that you bring here. But also in the gates of Chiron, we get to look at what are the thematics of that wound. And that is a wound that you carry with you all of your life. And it is usually deeply tied into your purpose. And so around age 50 and above, you'll experience something called Chiron Return, where Chiron returns to the original position that it was in during your birth, okay? So when it completes that cycle, usually it's around that 50 mark, it has a 50-year cycle, you will then start to live into this, the integration of this wound more readily. It's very powerful for a lot of people. So whenever I do purpose readings, I always include Chiron's position, because this to me is like a new level of birth that happens when we reach that stage of maturity in our life. The primary place where any human design reader who knows how to look for this will look is in your sun and your earth. So on this side, you're only seeing my design sun and my design earth, but on your personality side, there's another column with a sun gate and an earth gate. These four gates, the sun, earth on your design side and the sun, earth on your personality side, they comprise something called the Incarnation Cross. The Incarnation Cross is traditionally what everybody looks at for purpose. This is the main reason for you being on the planet, so to speak. I can tell you my gates, and I can talk a little bit about what I mean, how purpose shows up. So for example, my design side, which by the way, your design side is also linked to ancestry and generation. This is the column of your life purpose, your incarnation purpose, whereas the personality conscious side is about soul purpose, soul direction. And it is unique to you, to what your soul came here to learn, versus the life column, which is linked to ancestry and genetics. So a lot of times when I'm looking at this design side, you can see a lot of the traumas and the struggles, especially when I look at their Saturn. I see what struggles came before, not just yours, but before you. So on my design side, I have very interesting gates. These aren't warm and fuzzy. The 6 is friction, and the 36 is crisis. This is our traditional names. I also do quantum human design, and they have different names there. Intimacy, and then exploration or exploring. So slightly different perspective on these gates, right? But a lot of what happened in my life and in my ancestry was a great deal of friction, a great deal of crisis. That's a big thematic for me and my ancestry. And my own birth was traumatizing. It was a point of crisis. I was born with a rare heart condition. I had open heart surgery at 3 days old. I survived when I shouldn't have. At that time, that surgery was 50% mortality, right? So this also shows me the beginning core wound sometime of someone's life up there. So for me, I came here to transmute friction and crisis. I came here to work through friction to find deep intimacy. I also came here to understand that crisis is a point of evolution. It's not an end point. It's a beginning. And this is what I help my clients with a lot. This is how my purpose shows up in my work, is I take away the fear of the friction, the fear of the crisis. You don't have to be afraid of the crisis. You have to know what you're looking for when you're in crisis, and you have to see the opportunity. And I'm exceptionally good at that. So one of the things I mentor people on when they come to me, they're usually in a point of crisis. That's why they're looking for help, because they're in a point of crisis. I help them see where they can go next with that, right? So that's where my gift shows up on this design side. Now on my conscious side, which you can't see up here, I have the gate 11 in my sun and the gate 12 on my earth. And the gate 11 is associated with ideas and illumination. And the 12 with the ability to channel, to be a channel of information, of insight. And I use both of those gifts so much in my work by being able to channel brilliant insight for my clients, being able to see opportunity where they don't see opportunity. It shows up everywhere in my work and in my purpose. So right there, you see in those 4 gates, so much of what I came here to serve the planet with is just visible in those 4 gates. So that's another thing that I really zoom in on when I'm doing a purpose reading or I'm working with a client like in a mentorship container to help them understand how that applies for them. And then if they're not happy in the work that they're doing and they want to do something else, where they can begin to look for containers that fit their purpose, right? I feel like a lot of times the way that we look for work or projects is like we look at what's available and then we see if we can fit into that box. And we should actually be doing that backwards. We should look at what we actually came here to do and then find opportunities that match what we came here to do, right? That's like such a better way of doing that, of searching for that. Can I provide the link for, my site? Sure, I can do that, I guess. I'm like really not super great at this. So just give me a second so I can figure out how to type comment. Yeah, so it's right here on my site. You can get your chart. It's literally like the welcome page. Ooh, I did it. It's right there on the welcome page. You can see it. So I look at Chiron. I look at your sun and your earth on both sides. I look at your north node. Another thing I look at is the north node, because your north node is the direction of your life, whereas your south node is where you're coming from. Your north node is where you're moving to. So I look at that as a direction for your dharma, because I want to understand your dharma. I want to understand where you're meant to move to, because that's it. Ultimately, if you are doing something in the world for work or engaged in some project that doesn't align with your north node, it's not going to be sustainable for you, because you're always going to be looking for this, right? So in my case, my north node is in the 25, which is the gate of spirit, love of spirit. Anything I do in this world has to be to seek a deeper alignment with spirit and to help other people seek a deeper alignment with spirit. If I'm not doing that, I'm not happy. So if I had an accounting job right now, I'd be miserable, because I don't have the 45 in my north node or the 21, which are, money teachers and resource finders. I have the 25. So I need to be helping people to align with spirit in order to feel fulfillment. That's my dharma. That's the direction of my life. Does that make sense? Is this linking? Right? So there's a lot of pieces of this. And then another thing I look at, so if you're just joining and you have no idea what's happening, welcome. This is called a human design chart. If you don't know anything about human design, you can go to my link. I posted it in the chat, shakti-rios.com. Get your chart. There's a chart generator right on my welcome page, and you'll learn a few things about your chart. And what I'm doing here is I'm explaining, when someone comes to me for a life purpose reading, is what are the elements of someone's chart that I look at when I receive their chart, right? So that's what we're doing right here. Okay. So another thing I look at is I look at your Mars. Mars instructs me on the kind of action that you came here to take and the energy around the action that you came here to take. For example, I have the 47. This is also known, it's gate of rationalization or mindset gate. So what I came here to do, to literally provide and take action on from a design angle, is mindset. Teaching people about mindset, literally working on my own mindset. Okay, again, I can't show you my personality side. I have like my chart across from me, so I can like share with you the numbers, but it didn't fit on the screen, so I apologize. On my soul side, my Mars is in gate 1, which is all about self-expression and expressing my mindset. The bridge between those is all about expressing my mindset, sharing my mindset. Again, Mars will tell you how you communicate your gifts, right? So you can look at a whole business plan right here just by looking at your chart. Like, I can show you how to run a business based on your chart. Jupiter is going to talk to you about what gifts you came here to receive from your work. Saturn is going to tell you where you're going to struggle, where your challenges are going to be. This is a teacher, a great teacher right here. Then down here, Neptune teaches me about your spiritual work. And Neptune, so these planets right here, we're going to look at Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, I already said that, Pluto. These outer planets, so these are considered inner planets, right? These are here, inner planets. They have shorter transits. So they tend to be much more individualized on people's births. These down here planets, these are called outer planets, and their transits are very long. So typically there's whole generations of people that are born with the same numbers, right? So in my mastermind that I just completed today, my students graduated. I'm feeling very proud. We all had the same Neptune. We all have the same Neptune gate because a whole generation of us came in with the 58, looking for joy of mastery, looking to connect with our joy, right? As a spiritual purpose on the planet. So we are a generation of people who are discovering the significance of what it means to live a joyful life. Whereas the generation before us was a lot about survival and adaptability, and joy and the things that brought you joy were not really considered important. They weren't imperative, right? But we have a whole new generation of people whose spiritual purpose is literally connecting with joy. And so that's another place that I look. I look at Pluto to help understand what transforms you and renews you on a deep level. That planet informs me of that. And then another thing I look for on purpose is I look in your chart and I look at your channels. So this right here, this is called a gate. You see, it says 57. I don't know if you can see that number or not. And it's not complete. It's like, it stops right there, right? It doesn't keep going, right, to any of these connecting points. So this in human design, this is called a hanging gate. That means you have consistent access to that gate, but you don't have the full channel, the full expression of this channel, right? So fun fact, when you look at your chart, you will naturally be drawn to people who have the other half of your channel. These are called electromagnetic connections. So when I'm doing a connection chart for people, like a relationship reading, I always look for these electromagnetic connections that you have with other people, because that's what you call chemistry. What you call chemistry is actually an electromagnetic charge. That means when I meet someone who has the 20, boom, man, I feel that charge because they complete my 5720, right? Or 10, 5710. If I meet someone who has a 10, there's a connection. But wherever you have a full channel, that's a gift. Especially if you are a non-sacral being, projector, manifester. Reflectors don't have channels because they don't have any definition in their chart. There's no color in a reflector's chart. They're all white. But if you have some channel, some color, but you don't have this square, this red square colored in, that means you're either a projector or a manifester. Your channels are so important because this is where you draw energy from. Because you do not have this, that a generator or a manifesting generator has, because you don't have that, you draw energy from using your channels correctly. When you are using your channels correctly, that is like fire. You are on. People see you, they receive you, and you are lit. All right, in whatever you're doing. So that's another thing that I look at. And purpose, I also look at what centers you have defined, because that tells me what you have consistent energy to, and what you have, like for example, I have my spleen defined, my G center defined, and my will defined. You can't see the will because it's hiding on this side. I only have 3 centers defined, so I'm pretty open. But with that, Samantha said, I'm a manifestor and I have throat, spleen, and solar plexus defined. So you're pretty open like me. You're pretty open. So as a manifestor with those definitions, you have consistent access to how you communicate, consistent access to intuition and fear, and to emotions. Now, which one of those connects to your throat? You have to have your emotional solar plexus connected to your throat. So you have to be an emotionalized manifestor, which means that your gift with communication really comes from speaking about your feelings, your emotions, right? Yeah, but the spleen is not a motor. That's cool though that they both are. You have an access to your intuition and communication, and also, yeah. So what makes you a manifestor is you have a motor to the throat. So there are some centers, the root, the sacral, the will, and the emotional solar plexus. Those 4 are called motors. And so what makes you a manifestor is that you have a motor to the throat. If you just had a spleen to the throat, you would be a projector. Yeah. So those centers also give me information on how you really stand out. It's what people know about you. So I'm very intuitive, definitely. I have a very strong sense of identity, absolutely. And I have a very high sense of self-worth because my will is defined. Everybody knows it about me. If you come across my page, if you see even 3 of my videos, you get that from my stuff, right? And then where you're white, you don't have any color, you're very open, you're flexible. You still have those centers. It's not like those centers don't exist for you, but you're flexible. You don't have consistency in the energy of those centers. So you're more easily conditioned in those centers. So this is really important when I talk about like relationships, but also how you were parented. For example, you're a manifestor, Samantha. If your parents were generators, which likely they were because generators are 70% of the population. That's most humans. Manifestors are only 9%. So you're really in the really minority group here. If your parents were generators and they just had all this energy to constantly go, do stuff because they had this sacral defined, and you were raised like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that, and you're just like, I'm tired, B. Like, I'm tired. Like, I need a nap. And they were constantly responding to their sacral being stimulated while you were like in this internal creative flow and you just wanted to like mind your business and like do your own thing and follow your own instincts and follow your own hunches and your own intuitions, right? We get conditioned by the people that raise us, and it changes the way we operate in the world. And a lot of times when people come to me and they're like, see, that's pretty spot on, lots of chaos and stimulation. Yeah. It's like, I look psychic. I mean, I am psychic, but I'm not psychic when it comes to human design. I'm telling you, this is the magic of understanding relationship and chart, right? You were not meant for that level of stimulation, right? But you were stimulated beyond belief because that's how your parents were. That's how your parents were. And it happens to a lot of us. So this is the gift of design that's so mind-blowing. And it helps you understand. I was saying a lot of people come to me and they say, I don't feel like a projector. I read about it. It doesn't feel like me or a manifestor. The reason they don't feel like their aura type is because of trauma. Things have happened to you in your life that have conditioned the centers that are open, or how you were raised. Just basic conditioning. You adopting the energy fields of the people around you and thinking that aura was your aura, right? Because our auric fields are living with other auras. So it changes. Have you ever noticed how, let's say, you and your partner, your kids, you have like this energy about your family unit, right? You're a projector. Hi, I'm also a projector. Nice to meet you, Jessica. You have an energy, right, in your family unit or on your own. Maybe you're solo, you're not married, you don't have kids. You by yourself, you know yourself in a certain way, right? A certain vibe. And then you go back home to visit your family. What happens? Drama for your mama. Drama everywhere, right? All of a sudden you're reactive and you're like fighting people and you're like, whoa, I don't know myself like this. Like, I'm typically really chill. Like, when I'm by myself, I like myself better. Why? Because when by yourself, you're out of the aura of the people in your family. You're in your own aura, right? And so you know yourself in your own aura. But then when you step into the aura of other people, they are conditioning your aura. So that's a big deal. It changes you. It changes the way you show up, right? That's why you can be different at work, different with your family, different with your partner, different with your kids. You can be a different person with a whole bunch of people because your auras interact differently. So if your boyfriend is a manifesting anything, he's a manifesting generator. There's no manifesting projector. So he's likely a manifesting generator. And if you are a manifester, Samantha, then probably sleeping next to him makes you exhausted. So you might want to practice with sleeping not next to your partner and see what happens if you're more rested when you wake up. Because you're like absorbing his sacral energy all the time. Another manifestor on here? Dang! That's lucky. Yeah. That's another thing. If you're a non-sacral being, like a manifestor, a projector, reflector, you need to sleep on your own. For real. And I know that's hard because like a lot of us sleep next to our partners, but just practice sleeping by yourself every once in a while because it's important for the integrity of your aura. That's like a thing. Yeah, you feel me. Yeah, okay. He's also like really fast. Manifesting generators are like super fast and manifestors are not like that. Like manifestors have their own rhythm, their own pace. Of all the types, manifestors are the only ones that don't really need to be initiated by anything other than themselves. So you will know when it's correct for you to act because you will have like an internal knowing. You will be like prompted internally. For the other types, we are prompted by external things. So it's different. We have a very different way of operating in the world. You're a generator. Yeah. So that's awesome that you said generator / manifesting generator, because if you are a manifesting generator and you're on here, you are a generator. A lot of people say manifesting generator is like a 5th type. It's not. There are only 4 aura types: generator, projector, manifestor, reflector. That's it. Those 4. If you're a manifesting generator, you are a generator. You just have a little bit more speed behind your generatorness. You have some in that sacral because your throat is motorized, right? So generators don't have a motorized throat, but manifesting generators do. So they have a motor in their sacral and they have a motor in their throat. So they're like, do, 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 do. They got all the doing down. That's what makes them what they are. So I want to say too that I do not have the dates for this yet, but I will be doing a masterclass on purpose. And I have to keep the numbers down because obviously if I'm going to be looking at all of your charts, probably more than 20 charts, I can't do and keep like my sanity. So there'll be a limited number of people that I take on for a masterclass. If you haven't joined my email list, you can do that by running your chart. So like if you run your chart on my website, you'll automatically join my email list. So you'll get a heads up for sure of when I'm running this masterclass. I'll also make videos here too, but sometimes you don't see everything that's on here. I feel like with email, it's much more consistent. But my intention is to run one because I just see a huge need. I might run more than one. You're welcome. I might run more than one because I have a feeling it's going to be real popular. A lot of people are going to want to be on that masterclass. But I really want to do it now because I see the shift that's coming and I just see the desire for people to know where they're going. Like, y'all are hungry and I get it. I really do, because these times are crazy and I feel like we're not happy anymore just at like whatever jobs. Like if we're not doing something that we really love, like we're just miserable. You know, it doesn't matter how much it's paying you. It doesn't even matter how much money you're making or the benefits that you have. Like none of that shit matters anymore. If you haven't noticed, New Earth be like, we don't give a fuck about that shit. Like right now, if we don't feel like what we're doing matters, we're out. We're just automatically out. We're feeling the need for impact more than ever. We are feeling the drive to be on purpose on this planet, to not just be like a waste of space and just like doing nothing, you know? See? Okay, Samantha's like, I'm literally on a job hunt and I cannot be less bothered too. Exactly, girl. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, we're just not there anymore. Like, our frequency has bypassed that shit. 100%. We are in the generation of looking for joy. Like, if we're not feeling on purpose, our soul's like dead, right? Not all money is good money, guys. It's not. It's really not. Money that you earn, resources that you earn from doing something that lights your soul up and you feel like really matters is like life-changing. When I earn like $3, like someone donates $3 to me because of a live stream that I did, it changed their life. I'm like, yes, like those are the best $3, you know? I am like no longer interested in not helping change people's lives. Like I'm here for this. If I'm not doing this, like what am I doing with my time? Because this is my calling. So I really want you to find yours. I really want you to understand how to look at your chart and find your purpose and how to really like live into that. Yes. Cheyenne, am I saying that correctly? Cheyenne? Yes, I am speaking to you. I am speaking to you. I am speaking to you. I hope that you receive this because I am. If you're here, I'm speaking to you for sure. You know, this is what I've been feeling like in the transits. I have a membership where I track transits too. And the transits that are coming, the way the nodes are shifting, when I pull cards, like everything is just directing us towards purpose, purpose, purpose. Like this deep need to find why we're here and who we are and why that matters at all, you know, more than ever. I deeply feel, and I have said this for a while, that it's the entrepreneurs, the soulpreneurs who are going to change the economics of everything. Because when you are in business for you, doing something you love, you are willing to go hard. Trust me, you will go hard for what you love because you deeply feel like it matters in the world. And if you weren't doing it, there would be a hole. You feel like there would be a hole here if your soul was not showing up and doing what it came here to do. I feel that way. I feel like if my voice was not here to communicate human design from my lens, from my experience, there would be a void. There would be an absolute void. And I would miss that. I feel like that impact would be missed, you know? So just know that you are divinely prepared. I have chills right now. You have a divine appointment for being on this live stream. You are divinely prepared. You are divinely supported. You have everything that you need. You are a sovereign, beautiful, sovereign being. And the universe is just crazy to support you. It's crazy to see it through for you, to bring you something that lights you up. And I am decreeing that every single one of you on here will find that thing and will make contact with that thing. And you will be anointed and blessed with the thing that your soul came here to give. I am decreeing that upon every single one of you. I am also a minister. Can you tell? I'm bringing you to church right now. Church of Shakti. Yes, I am decreeing that it is so. Fire, fire, fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, again, make sure that you get your chart and you begin to get familiar with your aura. I do have an aura basics class too, and I will send that to you in the email. I'll say if you want to learn more about your aura type, you can get it here. It's only $37, guys. It's so affordable, and it's a great place to start for aura basics. So once you get your free chart, you're going to get an email with videos linked from my TikTok so you can learn about what this thing is. And then you're going to get, I'm going to put all the things in there for you. Here's where you can learn about aura basics. Here's where you can pick up different tools if you're interested, right? So it's all there for you. I made it a really nice, easy package. So go on in there, get your chart, and join the crew. And then you'll get an alert for sure when this Purpose Masterclass goes live, because I'll definitely be emailing everybody who's in the email crew to join me. And if I have a huge, request for them and I can't fill everybody in the first masterclass, I'll definitely make another one so that you guys can get the attention that you need, because I really want to go over everybody's chart individually and really with a fine tooth comb go through it and make sure you get all the information that I usually give. So I love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was such a fun live. The energy here was fire. I feel like everybody got blessed just by being here, and that's beautiful. Thanks for joining me. I will be doing more of these. I finally got the opportunity to schedule lives, which I haven't been able to do. So hopefully now if you follow me, oh yay! It's totally all right, sister. I will be doing more of these lives. You're just talking about purpose. But I'm trying to make an alert. I'll schedule the live so that you guys can see it and you can RSVP and you can be notified when I go live, okay? All right. I love you guys. Have an awesome evening. Thanks for hanging out with me.